What is going on, everybody? It is your boy PTK Blam back, and you already know what time it is. It is Thursday, man. So you know what that means. Another episode of The Shop. This week is a little different, okay? I got a special guest on. All right, so I'm going to let him go ahead and start, but you guys know me, your host with the most, PTK Blam, friendly neighborhood gamer. Got a whole bunch of other aliases. We're not going to get into that because the time span ain't long enough. But I'm gonna go ahead and start with my first guest here. This is a guy who I've been watching. He's been in the Xbox community on Twitter. I've had like limited, not reactions, but limited, conversations, things like that. But I definitely know who he is. Definitely been watching his show. I'm subscribed to his channel. You guys check it out too. Go ahead and give yourself a shout out, Kano.
Wow, what's that? This your boy, the real young Kano, the brutally honest gamer. You already know what it is, man. The one that cutting up counters tell like it is. And I'm gonna be honest about everything. You heard me? So, man, thank you again, PTK Blam, for bringing me on the episode. Many more to come sooner or later. You heard me? And we're gonna go stupid with this episode. You dig? Let's get it.
For sure. I appreciate you taking the time, man. I know, like I told you earlier, I saw that message at the last minute, but I'm glad you had time to get in the show today. So I appreciate you. Once again, I'm a fan of yours, so I appreciate what you do. So we got some of the other usual suspects, on the podcast also, my friends, my family. We'll start with you, Pred. I know you didn't make it last week, man. You had some health issues going on. Got your OBJ. Hopefully you back healthy now. You know what I'm saying? So I'll go ahead and shout at yourself out.
Yeah, man. Thanks. I was out last week, man. I was kind of drugged up, man. I had my knee surgery a couple of, I guess about a week prior to that. So I was still taking medication, and like I told you, man, by the time I started the podcast, you start like an hour late last week.
Yeah,
I'll be knocked out. And I listened to the first 10 minutes, and I was like, my wife was making fun of me, talking about I was drooling and shit. So basically, anytime I took that stuff, man, I couldn't stay awake like past like 7:30, 8 o'clock over here, man. So I had to tap out last week. But glad to be back on the shop, man. I missed most of last week, but I'm back. I'm doing a whirlwind tour today. I'm on with you guys. I'm doing the Quest podcast right after this show, and then I'm doing what is it on Saturday? Fucking I can't even think right now. The next podcast on Saturday. What? So yeah, but I know we got an hour, so I don't want to do this shit long. So let's go.
Let's go. All right, so live, man. Go ahead and shout out yourself, man.
What's going on? It's your boy Live Wire out here just triggering these Xbox haters. I lump them all together. PC ponies, Nintendo weirdos, whatever. All of them.
Mr. Rub You the Wrong Way. That's my new nickname for you, man. And we got, last but not least, man, my boy Chuck, man. Go ahead and give yourself a shout out. Also, don't forget to plug. You got something new happening, man. Make sure everybody knows what's up.
Okay. Yeah, what's up with your plan? Everybody on the panel, I see you. This is your boy Triple Cup chucking them up, and I got my new podcast. I officially announced it across Twitter. I've been getting a lot of love. It's gonna be the Vibration Podcast. We're gonna be talking about Marvel, DC, comic books, anime, video games, and more. We're gonna keep this thing pumping. We're gonna keep it jumping. So all my people that like gaming and all my people that like the Marvel, like the X-Men and all these other different genres, that's gonna be the place for y'all, and right here, and all my people, we all together. So let's go ahead and get to this game and let's get it.
Let's get it, man. So the Shop podcast is live. It is lit, guys. So once again, man, let's make the chat, live. Share the link, man. We want 50,000 people in here, 50 million people in here, man. Share the link. Let everybody know what's going on, man. The most lit podcast on YouTube at this current point. So let's go ahead and dive in, man. You know how I do. So right off the gate, man, I want to talk about something that was kind of a big deal. Everybody's kind of been going back and forth about it. There's a big push in the Xbox community about it right now, and that is Sunset Overdrive 2. Now, obviously, the first Sunset Overdrive was a fantastic game. If you still haven't gotten the chance to play that game and you own an Xbox, you're doing yourself a huge disservice not fucking playing the game, because at one point, they gave this shit away for free. So if you didn't get it, you missed out on that. But go ahead and pick it up if you missed it. But Insomniac tweeted out, still more initiated the conversation, but Insomniac tweeted out that they'd love to make the Sunset Overdrive 2 if they could just find a publisher to do it. Now, the way I reacted to that was, God damn it, Microsoft, like, are you just too busy? Are you too busy to get it done or whatever? I don't know what's going on between the communication. I know Insomniac's very busy. They're doing a Spider-Man thing. They've worked on a couple games since Sunset Overdrive, but I wanted to get you guys' opinion. What you guys feel about that? Insomniac basically saying, look, we can do this shit. We just need to find somebody to help us do it, So we'll start with you, Fred, man. What do you think about that, man?
Well, I'm gonna say this. All right, this is probably gonna be an unpopular opinion, but I was not a big fan of Sunset Overdrive in the first place. That's just me. I know a lot of people like the game. I bought it. I returned it like within like the next 2 days, but I just wasn't a fan of the game. I'm not a fan of that game style. But I mean, I know a lot of people like it, and so I'm going to put my opinion to the side about how I feel about the game, and just say that if there's enough fans out there to want the game, Microsoft should at least listen to their fans in this instance, because this game and Rise are the two biggest games most people have been asking for. So if there's a lot of fans out there that are pushing for this game to come out, to come back as a sequel, then Microsoft should kind of listen to that. I know this is the second time that I've seen Insomniac come out and say something about, hey, it's in Microsoft's court, and maybe they're just trying to push the issue a little bit by announcing this again, like several months later. But it seems like they really want to make this game. They just need the funds to do it. And I think what's going to end up happening if Microsoft doesn't do it, Sony will, and it's going to end up on their stage. So, Microsoft needs to get their hands out of their assholes and make the game that the community's asking them to make, and at least put some money for.
Because immediately after that, there was multiple people, put up, the user voice. You can go on Xbox.com, go to the, I don't remember what part of the website it is, but you can definitely go in there, voice your opinion. You can actually vote, on Sunset Overdrive, make it a thing. If you want your voice to be heard, go vote, because we do want the game to be made. Insomniac essentially is saying the ball is in essentially Microsoft's court, or whoever else wants to pick up the franchise. I don't know. I thought Microsoft owned that IP, but I guess not. Maybe it's not something that Microsoft owns. Maybe I was under a different impression. But Live, let's go ahead and get your opinion, man. What do you feel like is going to happen? You think Microsoft's going to see that and say, well, let's go ahead and do it? I mean, how do you think they're going to react?
It's a hard one to tell. Man, I don't know. I mean, because one, they don't own the game. They really only own the publishing rights, and I think the only reason why they even dealt with them is because they were typically a Sony publisher. Well, similar to like if Remedy wanted to do a game for PlayStation and they decided to, let Remedy keep the game, but PlayStation will publish it. It'd be a situation like that. I mean, it's a couple of things that could have changed Sunset Overdrive. I think for one, they didn't. Man, I don't know if it was marketed the way it could have been. Maybe a little bit better. Another thing is it probably just didn't come out at the right time. There's too many things coming out right.
That was the biggest thing.
But at the time, we didn't know. Like people. Hindsight is 2020, and people are like, "Well, Microsoft is stupid. They should have never let it out like that." Well, motherfucker, we didn't know. We didn't know that was going to be like that, because they've been putting games out around that time all the time. It's just that now this generation, more than the previous, now the holiday is super heavy for AAA multi-packs. I'm pretty sure if they could have held it, they would have. But then the thing is, you're holding it. Insomniac can't get paid, because basically if the game is ready to ship in October and you're holding it until February next year, that means Microsoft has to pay them. They're going to pay them for a product just sitting there. Now, maybe they could have went back and polished it more, maybe. But I mean, it wasn't like anything was really wrong with the game, for it to really need polish. So I don't know. I mean, they could take it, but to me, I don't think there's enough interest. As much as people that really like the game say they want another one. I mean, how many people is that? Is that a solid 1-2 million? Because a lot of people say, well, it shouldn't matter. It's just a fan service, but at the same time, it's a business. So it's not like, I mean, think about it. You wouldn't as a football player or athlete in general, if you go into a game knowing that you automatically going to lose, it kind of takes something off of you, or anything that you do. If you go into a job and you're like, yo, we're going to lose. Like, no matter what you do, we're going to lose, but we're just going to show up just to say we're showing up. I don't know, man. It's kind of hard pill to swallow, especially when you're talking about spending mad money.
Yeah.
Like, because it wasn't like a $5 million game. It probably cost them about 20 to 30 mil, if not more, to make that thing,
And that's a good point that you brought up too. You know, I know a lot of people are looking at it like I want the game made just because I enjoyed the first one so much. You know, and I love the art style, I love the open environment, I love the characters, I love just the sense of humor in the game. I feel like but at the end of the day, man, like Live said, it's a business, and sometimes you kind of weigh your options. Like, yeah, I know there's a nice, decent amount of people that enjoyed this game and that really, really want to see it again, but for business sakes or business purposes, would it really make sense to put money into this and make it happen? Or I don't know, maybe Microsoft will decide to do it, maybe they won't do it. I think it's interesting that Insomniac did actually come out and address it, like, look, we want to make it, we can make it, but that's just on the publisher at this point. So and honestly, if Sony just step up and do it, like, I don't know, maybe it just, that would be more just to spite, I guess, Xbox in general. I don't think Sony.
Yeah, they're not going to do it because they can't own it.
Yeah, that's the reason they didn't do it the first one.
But since they can't own it,
that's the reason they didn't get. That's the reason why they didn't get the first one. That's the reason why Microsoft ended up being exclusive, because they took the idea to Sony first, and Sony was like, "Well, we'll do it as long as we own the entire game, the rights, and everything." Insomniac said no, and so it came to Microsoft, and Microsoft made it happen. Now it was sense why they don't own the game at this point, but that's a good point. It's a good point. So Chuck, it's on you, brother. How do you feel about it, man? You think it's gonna happen?
Right.
Bueno.
The way I look at it though, Blam, is I look at it from like you said, from a business standpoint too. But the way I look at it, like when Sunset Overdrive, it sold like 1 million copies, and at the time Xbox was at what, 10 million copies? 10 million consoles sold. So that's like 1 out of every 10 people had purchased this game. So now that the Xbox is at like 30 million, 40 million, whatever the number, the head count might be, and then by the time that come out, the number should be going to be a whole lot higher. So I don't see them not making it for that reason of it, because it's going to sell. And then on top of that, the first one was the groundwork. Now the sequel is like, okay, now the name is known. Now the game is known. Like, you got a fan base. Now you got new people that's going to come, and you got, like, word of mouth that's going to be able to speak about this game. Once you have that foundation, now the sequel, like part 2 and part 3, they could build upon that game. So it shouldn't take as long to make it, and it won't take as many resources because they already got the foundation on it. And then when they probably did that shout out, said, hey, we just looking for a publisher, here Microsoft. So there's pretty much, they were just putting it out there that they ready to start working on a new game now, because Microsoft probably wasn't forcing the issue about the situation, because they knew that they was probably focusing solely on Spider-Man and a couple of the other IPs, and they'd already been burnt by a company, by Platinum Games, with them working on other projects and not being able to get their project out. But now by them saying that, they give them the opportunity to say, okay, well, y'all almost finished the Spider-Man. That's supposed to be coming out next year. So now that y'all can start working on this game, we probably would do it. And Sony couldn't really just take the game and make it a console exclusive, because of the first game was out on the Xbox, and they'll get like the sequel. You know what I'm saying? That just don't resonate right. I mean, like, fans wouldn't be able to, like, let's say if you're a PlayStation only owner and you like, okay, we got Sunset Overdrive 2. They're gonna be like, okay, what about Sunset Overdrive 1? I don't know how to start. A lot of people like to play it from the first to the, play all the episodes. Good point. I don't think Sony gonna actually do that, but it's possible that it can go multi-plat. But I still think that Microsoft gonna get it in. We might even hear some about it at E3 this year, because they once this E3 come up, like all the games that they talked about from last E3 gonna be out. So everything that coming at this E3 is gonna be brand new stuff. So it ain't gonna be nothing that we'd already seen. It's gonna be some new stuff. So that might be, and then it's the time for sequels now, because that game has been out 3 years now, almost 4 years. I think so. It's time for a sequel. We ain't had the only sequel we're gonna have now is Earn the Blind Forest, and that's a small game, so they ain't taking as long. So now we're gonna get the either a Rise or Quantum Break or Sunset Overdrive 2 at this E3. We gonna hear one of those names being a sequel.
For sure. I hope so. I hope we see something. I mean, I'd like a sequel to either one of those, any of those games. Actually, I mean, I own all of those games, so I'd love to see that game made into a sequel. So Kano, man, first guest up, man. What do you think, man? You think it's gonna happen, man? You think that they were just kind of, kind of putting it out there, kind of low key hitting at Microsoft?
Triple Cup took the words right out of my mouth, man.
My bad. I'm good for that at least one time.
Nah. But let me. I don't want to be too long, because I know we ain't got much time on the show and stuff. I know we're going into the topics, but my take on this is the ball is in Microsoft's court right now. You feel me? Because twice, some make already pressed up saying they love to make Sunset Overdrive too. And honestly, for me, from my experience from playing Sunset Overdrive, I love the game. The reason why I love it because if you look at the grinding and stuff like that, it takes it back a little bit from Jet Set Radio Future and Jet Set Radio when you was grinding on a lot of things too.
Yeah.
With that game, you feel me? And the story has a lot of comedic humor to it, and the game is just phenomenal in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? The game is not for everybody. So I put you into this example, right? And you know, Pony's gonna say with Uncharted, right? That first Uncharted was garbage, didn't sell well, but they didn't abandon the game, so they came over with a sequel and they became a household name. Sunset Overdrive can become a household name, you know what I'm saying? And Microsoft really just gotta, you know, swallow their pride a little bit and take the initiative to just go ahead and say, you know what, we're gonna make this sequel happen exclusively to Microsoft, and it does need to be exclusive to Microsoft. And once they actually do that and this game sells well, then you see more games to come, because this game already has a cult following already, and it's starting to anticipate up for more people to co-sign to say, yes, this game needs to be made. But on the marketing stance for the first one, I honestly didn't think Microsoft did as well of a job on marketing this game back then, and they could do it better now. You know what I'm saying? I think they have the right pieces to market the sequel to make it a better game, and where this could sell millions of copies. You feel me? And the first one, how they then created the gameplay and how it is. The second one, they will improve the gameplay and make it better and more smooth and make the game as rich as possible, to the point where the story will be phenomenal, the gameplay will be on point. You know what I'm saying? It will just, and graphically, it'll have that cartoonish feel, but how the Xbox One X is, and how, you know, the DirectX 12 is, and how they put the engines together, it will be a phenomenal looking game after a while.
Sure, good point. A lot of good points, man. So once again, just my take on this, and everybody in the chat too, man. This question is for you guys too. So what do you guys think about Sunset Overdrive 2? You think that it's going to be a thing? You think they're just kind of putting it out there? You know, you put enough things in the atmosphere, man, sometimes shit comes back. So you never know. It may be something that they're talking about. I don't know how interested they are in doing it, but I hope Microsoft at least considers and takes a look at it like, is this something that we could do? Now, we may never know if the game never comes out. We may never know if they actually looked at it, but I hope they at least consider it. So let's go ahead and move on to the next topic, man. I got a nice fun one too here. You know, so every now and then in a generation, there's a phenomenon, okay? You know, Minecraft is a phenomenon. You know, what else? What else is a phenomenon? You know, you got, you know, Call of Duty at one point was like a phenomenon. It just came and just took over everything. Halo,
GTA shark cards.
Yeah,
shark cards.
Grand Theft Auto is a phenomenon. There are certain games, certain things that come out. They just create. They carve out their own lane, and they're self-sustaining. You know, so I want you guys to give me your opinion on like what's the next big phenomenon. It doesn't have to necessarily be a game. It could be just a trend in gaming. It could be even a system. It could be even a, you know, something video game related. So I'm gonna start with you again, Kano, since you finished off. What do you think is the next big phenomenon in gaming?
I ain't gonna lie, that's a hard one. That's a hard question. And you gonna have to skip me. I'm about to think about this one.
All right, for sure. We'll come back to you, Kano. Yeah, we'll come back to you. We gonna skip all the way to Pred. I know you sit over there quiet. You good old Dallas Cowboy fan. You. Go ahead, man. It's on you. What do you think is the next big phenomenon, man?
You know, the obvious answer is PUBG.
Okay.
I won't say the game. I'll just say the game mode. That battle royale style game mode. I think that's gonna be
Hunger
the next
Games.
big thing. Yeah,
right.
I think that'll be the next big thing. I think you'll start seeing a lot of these other like the shooters start mimicking a mode, whether it's, you know, 50 versus, you know, 1 versus 50 or something like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be 100, but I mean, I think the game mode sells well. It's, again, I've always said this about PUBG. It's a mode. It's a game mode. You could throw it into any other shooter, and make it work. It's coincidentally, for some reason it's very popular with this game, but I think that like you'll start seeing the Call of Duties and maybe the battlefields, the Ghost Recons, all those shooters like that will probably start implementing some kind of battle royale mode in it, and you'll start getting a little twist in some other games as well. Maybe like a MMOG, those fucking massive. I can't really play those games.
MMORPG.
Yeah, some of those games, but like I mean, just that mode in general, I think is going to be the next like big thing for a little while. But outside of that, man, like I mean, we're kind of stuck in the same. I think we talked about this on the podcast a while back, like how this mode is taking over because it's new and fresh. It ain't the same thing we've been doing over and over again. It's a first-person shooter, a third-person shooter, an RPG. You know, it's like it's something different. Until we get tired of it, that's going to be the next big thing going forward. That and then the whole loot crate, you know, that thing. I mean, that's not going anywhere anytime soon. So if anybody's hating it that bad, sorry. That's going to be the thing of the future right there. That's how these developers make their money on the side, by selling you shit you don't really need. But that's it, man. I can't really think of anything outside the norm that I'm seeing come out.
That was a good one. That was a good one. I was thinking along the same line. Go ahead, Kano. You sound like you got your thoughts together.
Yeah, I think with the loot crates and microtransactions, they're going to emphasize it to, you know, make it more of a forefront when it comes to multiplayer games. You feel me? Like if you look at the next Battlefield that's going to come out some probably next year, 2019, they're going to emphasize it in a major format to buy guns and different perks to the game. And then with the bit like homie said, with the battle royale and how it is with PUBG and all that, they're going to like make it into the biggest thing. They're going to like start making it to the point where it's going to copy on all different games. You feel me? I could picture 2 years from now, matter of fact, you heard me? 2 years from now, you will see it in Call of Duty. You will see it in the next Grand Theft Auto. You will see it probably if they ever come out with Midnight Club, a new Midnight Club game, you're going to end up seeing stuff like that to help with the cars. So that's going to be the future thing. And then I feel like the HoloLens is going to be the next big thing.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm an Xbox guy. I low key forgot about the HoloLens. I'm not gonna lie because it's not like gaming related at this current point. Like it's more applicable to other things, like other parts of society. But that once the price comes down and it becomes more affordable for normal everyday people, at a certain point maybe they'll look at making games for it. But yeah, that could be the next big thing too. It's pretty neat concept too. So good shit, Kano. I like that. I like that idea. Sure. Live. It's on you.
Yeah.
Phnomenon, man. What we got live? PUBG is a big one though. I kind of agree with him on
that. Man, that's a good question.
But they're gonna have some ponies that are gonna use HoloLens for Pornhub.
I think that I'll go with Sea of Thieves because not that I don't think PUBG won't be a phenomenon. I just think that people are sleeping on Sea of Thieves because it doesn't look like a super realistic game. But at the same time, we also slept on freaking Minecraft. Like I slept on Minecraft hard. I was like, this game, hell no. Never, ever will I play this game. Granted, I still haven't played it, but people love it. And it's because of the customization and the creativity of it. And when I look at games like Sea of Thieves, I think of games like Ark Survival. Not so much that, the whole build a world type thing, but it's like Sea of Thieves is like the ultimate just go on your adventure and
Sea of Thieves have one thing. I don't want to cut you off, man, but Sea of Thieves has one thing that no other game has going at this point. The last good pirate game we had was Assassin's Creed. There's very few games that do pirates good. Like they do it fun, you know what I'm saying? So there's no other game out there like Sea of Thieves that's in that lane. That's like it's a pirate setting, and you got real pirate, kind of fun stuff you can do. Like there's no other game to really compete,
because the thing that they're showing in the game is that they have like depth, a little bit more depth than we saw. Because everybody like at first, because they're basically spoon feeding us like little details here and there. But at the beginning, everybody's playing on the traditional pirate ship. You got like 8 guns on each side, and this big ship. And now they introduced the smaller ships. But yes, they're smaller, easier to sink, but yet they're faster and can maneuver a lot faster than the bigger ship. So if you get 2 small ships versus 1 big ship, you could probably easily take that ship down because all you got to do is do laps around.
You could talk about this now.
What, Sea of Thieves? Yeah. It's on YouTube. That's where I saw it. I'm not talking about in the game. I'm talking about that's on YouTube.
Yeah, because I know that you'll probably spoil the whole game knowing you on restrictions.
No, I'm just telling you what I see on YouTube.
No, they ain't doing that. They have those like vid docs, little diaries they put up every so often of like the progress in the game and shit that they've added. So this shit's a public knowledge.
Yeah,
Right,
right.
so-
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, like to me, that's the thing, and the main thing about CFPs right now that people just don't understand. Like look at what's going on with Destiny right now. A lot of people are dipping off of Destiny. Why? Because there's nothing left for you to do, right?
They blew
Everything that was hard to
They blew through Destiny in 3 days. Everybody blew through the content. Now
because you know what it is? Because what drives Destiny isn't necessarily its gameplay like people thought. It's the chasing of the item that you want, right?
Yeah.
And that's what Sea of Thieves has the chance to learn from. It's like, oh, this is what makes the gamers want to chase and it's constantly playing on this game. It's you're constantly chasing after something that's impossible. So you can't make things finite.
Yeah.
You can't say at 70, you can't even say at a 70 million gamer score, gamer rank in the game, you're gonna definitely get this sword, or you're gonna definitely get this hat or whatever. It can't be like that, because the main reason is that there's some people that will life that game just to get that, and once they get it, they're done.
Yeah.
But if you do it at random, you could have somebody who's ranked 60 with something, and you could have somebody who's ranked 5 with the same thing, only because they lucked up on it. And people will play the game just to get that chance to get it.
Yeah, that's a good point. And another thing about Sea of Thieves too is a lot of people don't understand is that this game is very, very stream friendly. It's a game that people will sit and watch somebody play because there's so much random shit that can happen. It's an open world. It's pirates. Lots of fun. Lots of random things can happen in the environment. I don't know exactly how big the world is. I'm hoping it's fucking massive. That's what I'm hoping, and I'm hoping it's also like in
PTK. You never tried the game PTK. You never tried the alpha.
Yeah, no, I did play it. All I'm saying is that just based on obviously the final release. Yeah, I'm hoping that it's an ever-changing type world where they can always add and remove different things just to make the space different. And I'm hoping that they give us some kind of creative. I don't know, some kind of creative mode in a game where we can go in and do like creative things. Like I think that when you give the players, and shit like that. I think when you give the players that creativity, that's what makes Minecraft so special.
To me, I think that
it's player driven.
Like this is what I think they should allow you to do. Like they allow you to dig up treasure, but what if you're on the island, you're about to get raided by? I mean, you just see this other ship coming to get y'all, and you're nowhere near your ship, but you got this treasure. You should be able to bury it wherever you want, mark it, and have it. Once you bury it, you get a map that pops up in your thing to tell you where you buried it, and then you can go out and try to fight them.
Then go back and find your treasure, and then if they beat you, they can steal your map, and they can try to use your map to find your treasure.
Exactly.
And then they can and they can have it where, like, let's say if a group of pirates, if they really be like pirates, they go around trying to go destroy other pirate ships, they'll start getting a reputation. Like you can get like reputations of like, this crew is a bad group of pirates, or you get friendly groups of people they want to join in. Yeah, they could do stuff
like because you know what they could do? They could put like marks on your ship.
Yeah.
So like when you
different colors
on your mark. Yeah. So you have, it'll be like like what is it for Halo? It's like is it quarterly, or is it like every 2 months they restart the cycle or something like that? Like
I say probably quarterly they do that.
Yeah, quarterly. So, so for 3 months, you have your ship, and you try to work and get all the marks you can on your ship for all the kills you get. So it like maybe it won't be like slash after a certain amount of slashes, you'll get like they'll give you some kind of symbol, like maybe like a dying shark or like a X'd out mermaid. I don't know, something. They'll put something on your ship, so you don't have to like do the whole ship. I mean, because that'd be ridiculous. But you just switch it up and be like, all right, this symbol means that you destroyed like 70 ships in a month or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That should be. Yeah, and then reset it. Then that way you'll keep having to grind every month to keep that stats.
And then you can. I hope they do this. Add in like factions, like some type of like group. Like you can go. You know how they have with like shit. I mean, what other they just like factions.
With us, you can go one another, and we gang banging. We doing gang bang ship drive-bys.
All kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like this cool little fact. You can join. You can send out. You can raid other people's shit, and then you even have like a reputation system where like a certain ship, you see it, and you're like, oh shit, like you know how there's a star system is in GTA where you have a certain amount of stars. Like there's kind of a reputation system, like where you know if all you do is go raid ships, your reputation goes down, and you get not a ranking, but just like a bad rep, so that okay, I see this ship and I see there's some kind of indication as to like, okay, I need to stay the fuck away from them because they're more than likely gonna,
or something like that's how you get a black
have
flag or something like that. Like how you get the black flag with the was it the skeleton and the X's or
crossbones?
Crossbones. Yeah.
Or you can have like
it's dope.
Bounties have where you put bounties on people's head too. Like if they steal something from you.
That too.
That'd be high because then when you take them down, then you can you get that bounty and possibly you'd be able to find a treasure if they got.
Oh, you said that's the division.
But see, this is
like the division where you could turn on people and you could take them to the it's kind of like the division.
But see, you also have to have it where you can't only have like player PvP, because some people there's just gonna be some people that don't want to do that. So the other thing they need to do is have it where you have special missions. Like the Kraken, where they say they're gonna have that in the game, but you don't have it all the time. See what I'm saying? Like it'll be like like a special weekend, kind of like Overwatch does it, where they have those special events, and then that's when you'll see certain monsters that you typically won't see. So it gets people to jump on, like, oh shit, they're gonna bring that. So you got to jump on there.
Bounties, all types of crazy stuff.
Yeah, they could do. That's a good choice too. I completely forgot about Sea of Thieves as far as the conversation goes, but Sea of Thieves is a really, really great example because that game once again is doing something a lot different than a lot of other games. It's a completely different genre.
Nobody's mermaids, son. Murderous mermaids.
It's based on me playing the alpha and having like some type of experience with it. Like I know that I see the potential with that game. Like, and once again, it's stream friendly. It's something that a lot of people can watch. Like. It's something that's really, really fun. It's a fun game to play if you haven't gotten a chance to play it, man. I don't know. I don't even know if you can still sign up for the damn alpha, but if you haven't, when it comes out, definitely pick it up. Definitely pick it up. So I don't know if I got
if you're in the inside program, just go ahead and sign up right now because you got 4 different categories you can sign up for right now and play the joint. You did.
Or that.
I'm telling you, murderous mermaids, man. That would be some high junk. Like if you kill a mermaid, then the mermaids start. Then more mermaids will come after you. Start trying to sink your ship by stabbing it with like knives and stuff.
Crazy.
Trying to spit on your ship.
I don't think I got to you, Chuck. As far as what do you thought about as far as gaming phenomenon? Then we'll move on after this.
Okay, I'll make it quick then. The gaming phenomenon. I think that it'll be the Connect. The rise of the Connect is back. The Walking Dead Connect. But I think it's gonna be a feature. I think it's gonna be a new feature that we don't have yet, and something that we ain't thought of. Like it's gonna be like how the game sharing, everybody
digital game trades too. Digital like returning digital games.
Yeah, but I think it's gonna be another feature that's gonna be like that wow factor. What ain't nobody expecting is gonna catch everybody from left field. I mean, because we pretty much got a concept of like the games and the directions and all the different directions they can go into the games so far. But like in the near future, I think it's gonna be some type of feature like how they got the new UI. It might be something to do with the avatars or something like that. But I know it's gonna be something in that category that's gonna give everybody that big wow factor.
Yeah. Okay, good point. I mean, you never know. Features, you left field. And speaking of, that's a perfect segue into the next question. Next question, guys. We're gonna move on. OG back compat, man. OG back compat, man. For me, just happened recently. If you haven't been living under a rock, they just announced a couple days ago that now there's some games. I think about 12 or 13 games at this point. You can now play backward compatible to the OG Xbox on the Xbox One. That's awesome. They talked about that, I think, a year or two ago. It was kind of mentioned like low key, but they didn't know whether or not they were going to actually do it, because we did get the 360 back compat confirmed at E3. But I mean, back compat is obviously a big deal. It's been huge for Microsoft. Like they've been praised for doing it. A lot of people have, loved the fact, a lot of the fans have loved the fact that, you can go back and play a lot of the 360 titles. That library is still growing. Now you can go even further back and play OG Xbox One games. Not Xbox One, but you know what I mean. OG Xbox games. So I want you guys' opinion on, is that something that you guys have been using lately since it dropped? What do you guys think about it? So we'll start with you on this one live. What do you think about the OG back compat, man?
Oh no, it's hot. So like to me, now it's just great fan service. That's the main thing to me, man. Like more than anything, it's a great fan service because like now I'm playing that Ninja Gaiden Black. Whoa,
Everybody's been playing that, G. That's my shit. I can't even lie. I beat that game about 60 times. No lie. I swear to God.
It's super hard. I just wish I had achievements, to be honest, but it's super hard, man. Because you got to remember to save, man. It's like Bloodborne in that sense, you know, like one of those Souls games. Like you got to remember to save, man. If you don't, it's gonna be a problem.
So, yeah, fan service is a perfect word too, because I think that's exactly what it was. I think that they were just thinking about like, we doing a 360. I think the fans would love it if we could, go. The technology's there. I'm pretty sure that when they found out that they could do the 360, I'm pretty sure that was the same time that they found out that they could do the OG Xbox too. So I think fan service is like the perfect word for it. I think it's just something that it's more value. You know what I'm saying? Buy one system, play the last 3 generations worth of games. You know what I'm saying? It's just something else that they can stick under their cap, as far as a feather. But Predator, I know since you're like the elder statesman here, I figured you'd appreciate the OG back and back. What do you think about it though, man?
All right. So when we had the back compat with the 360, I said this in the past, like there's a few games that everybody wants. But after you get those games, like you're gonna be like, okay, who gives a shit, And that's how I feel about OG games right now. Like I got Ninja Gaiden because I love that franchise. Yeah. But like, there's a lot of games back then that I loved back then. Like I don't see myself going back through and playing them all over again, especially without the achievements on there. It's great. Like Live said, it's a great fan service. I love the fact that every game I buy from now on is gonna come with me for the rest of my life. I love that. I have a huge ass library of games digitally. However, there's a lot of games I pick up. Like, for instance, I try to play Splinter Cell, like the old, like the very first Splinter Cell. I got it on Steam for free, right? So I try to play it on my PC. I'm looking at the graphics. I'm like, man, this shit is ugly as fuck. It's like, I mean, it's like it's not even playable. Like I was like, because you're so used to the graphics of this generation and stuff like that. So. Yeah, you'll have a couple of games. Everybody has like 5 games. And for me, one of them was Ninja Gaiden, a couple of the Ghost Recons I want back. And the rest of the stuff like, goddamn, that Western game I forgot that came out a while back. I wanted that. So like I got it, I played it, and I picked it up for a little bit. And then, I put it down. I'm like, okay, this is I'm like, okay, this was fun back then. I remember this game. I didn't get a chance to finish it. However, do I really want to sit here with this huge backlog of games that I got, already? And fuck around with a game from fucking 10 years ago, 10, 15 years. No, I'm good. I'm just like, I love the fact that Microsoft took the time to do this for us as fans. But I know this is just one of those like short-lived things. It's something you're going to pick up. I'll play Ninja Gaiden because I've been wanting that game. But after Ninja Gaiden, there's not a lot of original Xbox games that have not already either had remasters or sequels that I'm going to actually pick up and play anyway. I'll spend $9 on Ninja Gaiden, but am I going to spend $9 on, some of the other games they're going to release in the future? Probably not. That's something like if they give away for like games with gold, I'll pick it up. I'll pop it in for a couple of hours and fuck with it, and then I'll never touch it again. But again, great fan service from Microsoft. I'm glad they did it. But I just don't see it lasting as long as people are expecting it to last. Once you get all those games out that everybody wants, then you're gonna get stuck with a bunch of bullshit you don't want, and no one's gonna really care at that point.
Yeah, so it's once again good point. I mean, you always got to see the flip side to the coin too. Now, obviously, we got backlogs from like previous games, present day, generation that we still ain't finished. So obviously, it's nice. Once again, that's why I said I stress fan service because I think it's just something else to say. Hey, we did this for you guys. Something else to say. Another feather under the cap to say, hey, look, we got one system, all 3 generations. I mean, you can't get that on another platform. It's another thing that they can talk about. It's positive. It's a great thing. It's definitely not a bad thing. I do get, his standpoint from the fact that, a lot of the games that are going to come out, you probably wouldn't even bother picking them up or even thought about them, in the 10 plus years, So I get it. I do understand that though, but I think it's still just a great thing that they did. It was kind of left field. I didn't know, or maybe you guys heard about it before it happened. I mean, once again, we kind of got some basic information about it. They kind of teased it just a little bit here and there a couple years ago, even last year, I believe, too, but didn't even know it was coming. But so go ahead, Chuck. I know I didn't get to you, man. What do you think about the OG back compat, man?
All right, what I think about the OG back compat, like you say, it's a good fan service, and like we gonna get the games that we want and don't play them for a little while and put them down. I mean, it's gonna be all cool, fine and dandy, but that's what it's there for. Like for us, I always have it when we feel like going back to them, we better go back to them. And another thing would be excellent for this OG Xbox game when they take all it, because they ain't gonna be nothing like $10 games anyway. They gonna take all these games and they're gonna put them in Game Pass. So a person that got Game Pass, that's gonna make that even more worth the money. So and I always look at Game Pass is always for like, say like a mom and a dad with kids that game and stuff like that. Instead of buying them all these games, they just get them Game Pass and let them play all these games, and that'll be like more games for them to be able to play. That way you can have like these OG games, because a lot of the kids wasn't around for that, and if they were too young to remember. So they give them the opportunity to be able to play those games, and they give that a bigger category. And then on top of that, that invests you more into the ecosystem. So the most of you buying this ecosystem, the harder it'll be for you to leave this ecosystem. So let's say if you got your OG games, even though let's say out of completely they bring out 100 of OG Xbox games, so you probably pick up 5 to 10. Maybe even 20 of the OG games. Them 20 games going to hold you in the system for when the Xbox, like how Puerto Rock say, when Xbox Capricorn, Aries, or whatever they want to call the next Xbox come out, you'll still have that. So that's going to keep you in this ecosystem. So when you're in this ecosystem, it's going to be harder for you to get out. It's like digging your own grave in a positive way, because it's going to keep you invested and keep you involved, because whatever you putting your money into, that's where you're going to stay at. Even though you might pick up another system, but when the next Xbox come out, you're going to be more impelled to pick up that system, regardless of what the marketing rights or who do this and who do what. You're going to look at your system and what you already have, so it's going to keep you involved in there. So there's a good fan service, and it works in the benefit of the business perspective on both sides of the thing.
Yeah, good point, man. Yeah, so fan service, we keep hearing that. Kano, go ahead. It's on you, G, man. What do you think about that OG back compat, man?
Man, I think that is the worst thing they ever did, man. I'm ashamed that Microsoft didn't stop playing, man. Honestly,
go ahead, man. Let it rip, man.
Nah, honestly, I'm gonna be real. It's a blessing in disguise to have it. You feel me? But there's something that nobody hasn't said yet, and I'm about to say this right now. You feel me? All right. I say I'm gonna put this as a prediction, right? By E3, next E3, that's gonna be added to the games with gold. So we not only gonna see 2 from Xbox One and 2 from 360, we're gonna see 2 from the original Xbox. So they implement 6 games all together, going with games will go every month after E3. You feel me? Because they want to try to bring more backwards compatible games from the OG Xbox. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But it is a fan service, so it's not for everybody. Even though for me, I got a box full of OG Xbox games. You feel me? Stacked up. You dig? And there's some games that I love, like Jet Set Radio Future is one of my favorites. Shenmue 2 was another one. Mecha Celt, stuff like that. You feel me?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's actually a good look. Fan service is for the people that really wanted it. But I'm disappointed they don't have no achievement system. But when the OG Xbox came out, it didn't have no achievement system. So, people need to praise Microsoft for inventing the achievement system, because they originated that achievement system. Facts.
Nice. Cool. Good point. So a lot of good points about that, man. Across the board, once again, I think we all share the same feeling that, look, this is great for people who want it. This is just another feather under Microsoft's cap. They can say, hey, look, once again, we one system. You can play, the last 2-3 generations, same game, same ecosystem. And that's a good prediction, too. I don't even think that's even a stretch to say that they'll add it into that, either Game Pass like Chuck said, or they'll add it into the games for gold every month. It just makes sense, you know what I'm saying? And also,
one thing to add to that though too, it's hard to cut you off, but the fact that they actually like up the res on these games as well is like a plus. Like some of these games look a little bit better than what they did back in the 360 era.
Yeah,
so that's another positive.
Yeah, and also too, this is very developer friendly. Developers love this kind of shit, because these are games. I mean, you buy the game for $9, but that game wasn't making no money at all. It stopped making money a long time ago. So if you even go buy 10,000 copies, if I can get 10,000 people to go buy this game for $9, that's money that I wasn't gonna get. You know what I'm saying? So this is very developer friendly. So you know, hopefully we'll see a lot more OG Xbox games come out. So I'm really happy with that. So now, guys, we get into the fun part of the show. The entire show is fun, but this is my favorite part of the show because I always like to throw the panel here curveballs. If you're new here on the Shop Podcast, always, you know, I like to talk about the news, what's going on throughout the week, but I like to switch it up towards the end, man. Throw these guys a nice little question, and I got a good one today, guys. So you guys gonna like this, all right? So
Okay.
which two out of the big three, we're talking Sony, Xbox, and Nintendo, would make the coolest mashup game? Out of the three, you got to pick two out of the three. But if they decided, okay, you know what, we're gonna put all our differences aside and we're gonna come together and make a game, what two out of the three you think would make the best would make the best game out of the three? Okay, I'm gonna start with our guest Kano. Okay, the two out of the three, which one would make the best like mashup, or if they decided to get on the same page and make a game, which two out of the three?
You talking about like some? You talking about like a crossover, like somebody Smash Brothers or something?
No, just in general. Like we go. No. We gonna get together and we gonna make a game. It could be an original game. It doesn't have to be two games that they've already, you know, that they already have on both systems. You know what I'm saying?
I probably had to say Nintendo and Microsoft.
Okay, good choice.
Nintendo and Microsoft. And the reason why I say that is, you know what I'm saying, like if you look at Super Lucky Tales coming out next month, and you look at Mario, right? That's coming out at about midnight. If you put those two together, come out with a game like that, that'll be a hell of an adventure game, and it will sell millions and millions and build millions upon millions upon millions upon millions of copies for them to sell. But can I just say one more? I want to use one more example with this because this is actually a good idea though. And if you look at Sony and Nintendo, you feel me? They have a lot of IPs together. You feel me? So they could come up with another original content if they get together to come out with something extraordinary. You feel me?
Yeah, that's a good one. So Microsoft, Nintendo. I've always kind of thought about that one. A couple generations ago, but like probably last year or so, when Smash Bros. A couple years ago, I guess, when Smash Bros. Was out on the Wii U. At this point, I always said that it would be cool if they somehow added in like Ryu, they added in Samus, you know, a couple other characters in Smash Bros. If I could see like Master Chief in Smash Bros, I think he'd be a good like added character in like a Smash Bros game, you know. So I always thought that them getting together would be a great idea. But go ahead, thing, man. 2 out of the 3. Is Fred there?
Oh, I didn't hear you call first.
Okay, no, go ahead. So 2 out of the 3, man. What you think would make the best game?
3, man. I would say Sony and Microsoft. I love Nintendo, how some of the weird, quirky games they make. But if I had to pick, I would go Sony and Microsoft. Mainly, I would actually just pick Naughty Dog and pick a developer from Microsoft and work with them. Just make a single player focused game. Because Naughty Dog is really good for that. Was that
Remedy?
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, Remedy. Somebody. I mean, pick one. It don't even matter. Like Naughty Dog, anything they do is fucking gold. So like, pick that dev, and then let them make any, like, you know, pick a fucking franchise with the exception of Forza guys, whatever. Pick another fucking developer, but like whether it's 343, whether it's Black Tusk, whatever. Pick one of them and just team them up with Naughty Dog and make a good story-driven game, because that's one of the things we're really missing on the Microsoft side. And even if it's not even a single player game, if it's an online player game for the guys over on the PlayStation side, because they really don't have a lot of multiplayer games over there that are
exclusive,
that are exclusive to their console. They do a lot of single player stuff there, so that would benefit both sides. That's it. I mean, like, there's no rhyme or reason to it. I love everything Naughty Dog has done throughout their generation, throughout their existence. You know, they make a lot of great games.
Oh yeah, they're in that upper echelon.
Yeah, they can just walk up and be like, "I'm going to make this game," and everybody's like, "Okay, cool." You know, so yeah. So pick. I would pick. I'm going to even drill down. I would say Sony, and I would say specifically Naughty Dog within the Sony division, and then anybody pretty much on the Microsoft side. I think if they let Naughty Dog kind of take the lead a little bit on that and make a game, it would sell pretty well, especially if it has a great single player focused game with a little bit of multiplayer elements into it. I think that'd work out a good mixture for both.
Crazy. Yeah, just thinking about this got my damn juices flowing, man, for sure. So live, it's on you, G, man. I know you got some shit to say live.
That's a good question. Between Nintendo, Sony, and Xbox, huh?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what game could they make that would be. Huh.
You want to get some time to think? I'll go to Chuck.
No, that's the question. Is like, what game would they make? Like, we know Xbox comes with the multiplayer. So what game really? Maybe if I'm trying to think, what do they? Maybe if Xbox did a game like said they have the State of Decay and maybe have Naughty Dog do the graphics for it, maybe something like that.
Well,
yeah, that'd be dope as shit right there.
I think it's you guys may disagree, but I think that as far as graphics go, I think that from Sony, who did Horizon? Was it developer did Horizon?
Guerrilla Games.
I think they're like I think they do graphics better. If you just had to go,
but I'm talking about with animations and everything, though.
Yeah, but I just think that like if you're gonna say like graphics, I think that they're probably a better option.
No, I mean anyway, if it was just graphics alone, I mean you can go with Gears if that was the case. Yeah, that's probably like once the X comes out, that's probably going to be the best looking game on console. But if you're talking about like what animations and I mean just based on what the attention to detail that Naughty Dog does. I mean, because that's really the difference between Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo. Nintendo pays attention to detail for a lot of their stuff, but their games just graphically aren't, they're just not there. And PlayStation does have graphically intensive games, and they pay attention to detail. Their issue is they just neglect multiplayer. Like multiplayer is like an afterthought. That's like just they just plug it in. Whereas Xbox is more like the kind of sit in the middle, like a little bit of everything. But if they can get somebody that like since their multiplayer is the main thing, they make State of Decay like basically The Walking Dead for real. All you need is just a little bit more polish. That should be hot. Not that it looks bad now. I mean, obviously they fixed it. What they on Unreal now, right? They're on Unreal 4.
I think so. I don't know. I don't
so, we'll see what what comes from that. But
okay, cool. Good choice though. Good pick, man. I mean, you can't really go wrong. Just if you really sit and think about it, any combination of the three would probably be a hit either way. But go ahead, Chuck. I know you didn't get a chance, man.
All right. Before I say mine, he live just put a light just flashed in my head about how people was talking about the microtransactions and purchasing skins and stuff like that. Now, one microtransaction I will be guilty of purchasing, and I'll be aware about if State of Decay had a microtransaction where you can get the Walking Dead characters, like pay $4.99 for Rick or $5.99 for Michonne.
Like Forza thing.
Yeah. But anyway though, but my thoughts would be I say Microsoft and Nintendo, but it'd be like more like Microsoft taking some of Nintendo properties, like as in the Coalition, they do a Mario game. You know what I'm saying? Just make an old gritty Mario game. When I say he's shooting firepower, he's gonna be really shooting some firepower. You know what I'm saying? I think that'll be an amazing game to see Mario.
That's blasphemy. And then, you can't do that to Mario.
Yeah, man. Remember on Mario 1, we used to have to run it at the end of the game. You used to have to jump on the little flag and bring it down. Then he'll go inside the building. Now all of a sudden you hear that boom, 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 boom. Now Coalition gonna show you what's inside of that building. They're gonna show you what they really up in there doing. You know what I'm saying? And the other game they'll do is I think turn 10 to make a fire Mario Kart. Man, just think about the a Mario Kart.
That's crazy.
That'll be the most incredible Mario Kart game ever.
He said turn 10 for Mario Kart?
Yeah, man.
I don't know about that.
Hey, this our wishful thinking though.
Yeah, that's crazy. That threw me for a damn loop. Mario Kart turn to I don't know about that, G. I mean, you be able to tweak that goddamn cart down to the lube on the tire.
Turn 10 could probably make a fire ass kart racer game though.
They probably
I don't know if it's gonna have Mario's name on it. What?
They probably could. No, I don't doubt that they could. It's just a comedy. You think, Motorsports, you obviously think Horizon. This Mario Kart is such, it's so, it's Nintendo. It's just cartoony. It's just fun. It's simple. It's easy. You know what I'm saying? Like Forza is like the complete opposite of that. It's so, I don't know. It's a funny combination.
Man, just think about Mario driving a port in a Porsche pack.
The Hoonigan Carmichael.
That's too much, man. That's too much. All right, so let me go ahead and give my pick, man. I thought about this as I was thinking about the question, trying to kind of mulling over it, and so my pick would be Microsoft and Sony. The reason being is just because I feel like has so many single player focused games, and they do that really, really well. And Microsoft does the multiplayer well, on top of having great single player experiences. Also, just not as many or not as often as Sony does it. But I think that if they did, just throw down a gauntlet and say, okay, fuck it, we're gonna shock the world and do something together. We gonna, Biggie and Pac finally gonna make an album. You know what I'm saying? We finally gonna get together and do something. You know what I'm saying? I think that they could. It would be like greatness. Like, I'm sorry to take the Sony slogan, but it would at that point it would be greatness if you add Microsoft into the mix. But something like a single player, even like a Gears of War type game, throw it in a, add in like a multiplayer aspect to that kind of a game, or there's something really cool that Sony does well, Microsoft does well. I think that would be a great, great mashup. Obviously, Nintendo will be cool too, because I'd like to see some cool some Microsoft characters in Smash Bros. Or something like that. Master Chief or Marcus Phoenix in Smash Bros. Or something really cool like that. I think it'll work great. But so I think before we go ahead and end the show, guys, once again, I appreciate everybody watching. We're going to take maybe 1 or 2 questions if you guys have them. Go ahead and throw them in the chat at this point. Everybody watching, once again, I want to say thank you guys and appreciate the support. Every week, something actually really huge happened on my channel this week, man. I'll throw it up on Twitter. I'm not going to make the announcement just yet, but as I kind of mull over it, I'll put it on Twitter probably later on tonight. So it's pretty big for me. It's something that I've been thinking about doing, and I was actually able to do it as far as my YouTube channel. So really, really neat. I'll share that with you guys a little bit later. But if you guys have any questions, go ahead and throw them in the chat before we go ahead and go off the show or go ahead and close the show. So if there's no questions, then anybody else here on the panel got anything else they've been thinking about that they want to go over before we wrap it up?
Mortal Kombat make a Smash Brothers game. NetherRealm Smash Brothers game.
You have these terrible matchups. That is horrible. That is terrible. I cannot.
Mario rip Zelda head off.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. That's not going to work. You're going to destroy these games.
That's going to be
killing child.
That's going to be a negative 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Just please, they gonna destroy it before you even just the idea.
I can see a Killer Instinct cross Mortal Kombat, but I couldn't see no Mortal Kombat cross doggone on Super Smash Brothers, bro. You gonna pick
that's just not a cross, so man, that'll be a massacre. I'm talking about make a Smash Brothers game like Mortal Kombat.
Oh, that's
terrible. Take the knife and cut off Yoshi tail.
Oh my god! You hear this shit, Predator? See, this is what we got to deal with, guys. All right.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be a cool idea. But I haven't seen any questions. I've kind of been sitting here for 30 seconds. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up, guys. 60 minutes from now, guys. Once again, I do want to tell everybody here that's watching, appreciate the continued support, guys. Please subscribe to the channel. Please share the link. We're going to be doing this every Thursday, guys. It's going to be live and lit. I'm going to try and come with fresh guests. I got a brand new guest next week also, too, coming on. I'm going to give you guys a hint. It is a female, so you guys can look forward to that next week. It'll be her first time on a podcast. So we're going to rock out, have a lot of fun. So let's show her some love next week. But I'm going to definitely go ahead and let the panel at this point, get your let everybody know, get your plug out. So we'll start with you, Kano, since you were the special guest on the show today. First time, man. Once again, I want to say I appreciate you taking the time, reaching out, wanting to come on, and you having the time to do it today. So go ahead and give your shout out. Let everybody know where they can find you, man.
Man, I appreciate that, man. You know what I'm saying? You already know the real young Kano, the brutally honest gamer. You heard me? Y'all can catch me on intermediategaming.com. You heard me? And catch me on the Gamer Section Podcast. Y'all heard Triple Cup Chuck say it a lot. You feel me? Check me on the Gamer Section Podcast every Monday night, 6:30 Central Time, and on Tuesday nights on Rhythm Rave Radio, 8 o'clock Mountain Time, Standard Time. And And you know, subscribe to all of our channels, man. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Give us feedback, and you know, y'all gonna see me back on the BTK BLAM podcast more often than you think. You feel me? I'm gonna be back sooner than you think.
Sure, man. But when you come on here once, man, it's like shit. You're susceptible to coming on at any point in time. So I may reach out. You never know. So I appreciate you coming on, man, for sure. Once again, I'm a big fan of yours. So thank you for taking the time out. So
thank you for having me on here, man.
Yeah, no problem, G. No problem, man. Anytime. So, Fred, man, go ahead and let everybody know where they can find you now that you all healed up. You ain't on your geriatric shit no more.
Yeah, I'm doing the podcast roundtable this week, man. So I did this show today. I'm doing shit. I always forget the name.
Aren't you doing Quest right after this? Are you doing Quest
right podcast? Now? I think they're about to start right now. Doing Quest right after this. Next podcast on Saturday. I haven't heard from Mooch yet. He made me have me on the podcast, the Crossfire, on Friday as well. Other than that, man, I got my own channel. I have my own podcast Sunday mornings. I did my first podcast live on Sunday, Xbox After Party. I was going to call it.
You guys check it out too. I always do this. I'm cutting you off this time, and I'm not saying sorry. Fuck that. You guys check Fred out, man. He has great content, man. Xbox After Party, man. Check it out. I'm gonna plug this shit to the day I die, man. He has great videos, man. A lot of great insight. Really smart guy. Loves video games. True gamer. You know, tell it like it is. You guys check him out. Please subscribe for me, okay? Please, for me, go subscribe. Go ahead, Fred.
I haven't said that I will not have a podcast this week because I got to work.
You piece of shit. I knew I shouldn't have said
I don't let rip it out. I will do a video, though. I will do a video tomorrow, actually. So it'll be up tomorrow afternoon. Outside of that, man, that's it. I mean, just follow my channel, Predator_H2OS, on pretty much everything. I don't know my Switch ID because it's too fucking long. But, yo, I'm going to hop out and go start the Quest podcast. But, yo, man, thanks for having me on again. I'll see y'all next week.
Take it easy, Brett. So go ahead.
Go Cowboys.
Get out of here. Yeah. So go ahead, live, man. Give yourself a shout out before we wrap it up, G.
All right, this is your boy Livewire. Come check out my channel, Livewire Gaming, where I talk up a lot of interesting stuff, mostly stuff that's going on in Twitter and in gaming news. But today I was kind of laid back. I didn't say I haven't wilded out yet. Maybe it's because, you know, I'm getting a little mellow. Like people talking about what was that thing that came out this week? The PlayStation version of Assassin's Creed. That shit don't even faze me. It's like whatever. We've seen this before with Titanfall. Whatever.
You said PlayStation version of what?
Where the dev like tweeted out the PlayStation version of Titanfall. Even though they got, you know, Xbox has the marketing deal with
Assassin's Creed.
That's about
to be that's an epic fail already.
Man, I don't kill that game. I want even my girl say, "Oh, y'all seen the Assassin's Creed video?" I'm like, I ain't gonna kill you. Or do your thing, lad.
Yeah, that shit look hot, but I'm leaving. Well, I'm not buying anything right now until the X comes out, but I'm leaning towards Wolfenstein, man. That game looks crazy.
We'll see. Last but not least, my guy, man, Chuck. Go ahead and give yourself a shout out, brother.
All right, I like to give a shout out to myself because I got to give myself a shout out. Nah, I'm just messing with you though. You know what I'm saying? Hey, appreciate you having me back on this thing. I like to have fun. We having a good time, you know, talking about games, keeping it lighthearted. You know what I'm saying? You can find me right here on the new Fine Thursdays now. On Fridays, you can catch me on GRG with K Mega, and then you know what I'm saying on Mondays with Kano. He already gave y'all the plug about it, but you know what I'm saying? Might as well sting twice. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The Gamer Session podcast, and now on Wednesdays. Yeah, I'm gonna do like a Marvel, DC, comic book, anime, video game podcast where we talking about all these different topics, like, you know what I'm saying, mixing it up like a gumbo. I'm gonna make sure I keep it interesting for everybody to come out and check out and see. It's gonna be fun and stuff like that. And go to my channel and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Triple Cup Chuck, Triple Cup, one word, then Chuck. I mean, some people can't find it, but when you see that picture of that Cuphead, that's me.
He said gumbo. What about jambalaya? We gotta mix it up like jambalaya. You heard me? Oh yeah, like jambalaya.
Nice. We finna do plenty of mixing.
I know I'm finna go get ready to go watch Gifted now. I'm finna go finish watching the rest of the new episodes that I've been missing.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Shout out, man. So the most friendly neighborhood gamer, PTK BLAM, man. You guys can catch me obviously throughout the week, man. Dropping about 2 videos a week, three total videos a week, 2 regular videos, and then a podcast. Obviously, every Thursday. It is live. It is fucking lit. Once again, share, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Subscribe to everybody's channel here, man. And I'm gonna drop you guys with a nice little gem. Me, Chuck, and Live, kind of came up with an idea behind the scenes. I have been telling you guys I want to stream more often, because I get out of work earlier now, so I have more kind of daylight to work with. So me and Chuck, and Live kind of been throwing around an idea, but we'll fill you guys on when I get the details ironed out. So, but we'll catch you.
I want to say one more thing before we get out of here, right?
Go ahead, G. Go ahead.
This is directed towards this dude named Efficient that's on Xbox, right? I told this man about me on Killer Instinct, right? And Triple Cup Chuck know how I gets down on Killer Instinct. Efficient. Yeah. You can't beat me, man. Get over it.
I thought he was in here to chat or something. But anyway, so just get better, man. Just get better. Practice. Practice makes perfect.
Man, you can't beat Ken on that game.
I know. It's like impossible. It's impossible, right? But anyway, man, we finna go ahead and wrap this thing up, man. I appreciate you guys for coming out. Once again, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, man. We are out of here, man. See you guys next week. Peace out.
Later.
Peace.